What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip Caduceus. There you go, baby.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Cage Side with Christopher James. It's Sunday night, man. It's good to have you on board. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us tonight, man. As you can see behind me, man, we're with the bare knuckle ring because that means we're talking to some bare knuckle fighters tonight. First of all, before I bring in my guest, I want to say bare knuckle fighting championship BKFC 15 was freaking awesome. What a great night of fights. We will go over most of the card tonight during the show. I might even ask these guys that I'm talking to tonight if they even watched the rest of the fights. Maybe they'll give us some opinions. I'd like to shout out to Scott Farley and Sheena Starr. It looks like they've tuned in from Goat Combat Agency. Sheena Starr got into a fight. The doctor stopped it, and man, I put up a picture of her eye. It was so gross, but she just would have kept on fighting, man. But I love her, man. So, Sheena, good job out there. I know you didn't get the W. That's all right, girl. You always go out there and put it out there and put on a fight. So, congratulations for showing up and showing out. You were doing great. Doctor took one from you, but hey, that's all right. You'll be back, girl. But right now, we're going to talk to this young man. This guy's he's a combat sport veteran. He's done all kinds of stuff. He's done MMA, boxing. I think he's done Indian leg wrestling and arm wrestling. I don't even know what this guy does, man. If they tell him he's going to get a check for going out there and competing against somebody in some kind of human fighting competition, this dude shows up. I love this guy. He's a good personality. But more importantly, he's an awesome fighter, and he's making waves in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. So we're going to bring him in right now. Please welcome to the show again, my man Dakota Cochrane. Dakota, what's up, pimp?
How's it going, bud? How are you?
Oh, I'm happy to be alive today, man. I get to talk to guys like you and some others as well. So, that's always a good thing. First of all, congratulations on the big win the other night. It's good stuff, man. Now, before we get into that, I want to throw the congratulations out there. But since the world has fallen into the pandemic and sports were the first thing to come back as far as MMA and everything, then bare knuckle followed suit. Can you tell us what it was like preparing for this fight? Because I believe this is your first fight since the pandemic started. So was it any different, going into it because of the goings on outside of your normal daily life, or was it just whatever, I just go train for a fight?
Yeah, it was a lot different. There was a lot of uncertainty about whether I was going to be on this card or not. So Dave told me that I was going to be on there. He's been telling me, he's been trying to get me on. I've been telling me for quite a while, so I wasn't absolutely sure until I got a contract signed and ready. So, you just never know until you actually have a contract. So that's kind of the tough part about all this pandemic. There's so much uncertainty with. I was supposed to have a fight with Melvin the first time, then they set me up with Joey, and then Melvin again. It's just never worked out. So I just was a little uncertain, and I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, I'm glad it happened too. Did you have to do anything different in this camp to get ready for this fight? Because of gyms in some areas, where different spots where people live, you can't train, you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to go sneak around and hide behind the barn and go train with your boys, out in the dirt. And it's cold now, so that sucks, So, any different training things that you had to implement for this camp?
No, not really. I could pretty much go train. We have a team training Tuesday, Thursdays, and I work out with Menor. So, no, it really was business as usual, and just waiting for it to actually come.
So, they match you up with Tyler Vogel, which I felt was an outstanding booking. I looked at both. Yeah, I've seen you fight enough in both MMA and in bare knuckle now, and Vogel's a tough customer, man. He comes in and he comes hard, comes to work. But you never took your eyes off the prize on Friday night. You really came out and you. Hold on a second. Let me look at something here because I got to double check, make sure I say this exactly right. So your fight. Where are we? Oh, that ain't right. Oops. Excuse me. So your fight was fourth fight of the night. I believe. Did you start the pay-per-view or were you the last fight before the pay-per-view?
No, I was the feature fight.
You were the feature fight before the pay-per-view went live, right?
No, before the co-main.
No, because the main event was Shoemaker and O'Bannon, then co-main was Tyler and Charles, and then Josh Burns. Oh, that's what they got it backwards on my list here. I'm looking at it, I was like, okay, yeah. Because I'm sitting there going, I'm looking down the list, I go, I thought it was later in the night. And I'm looking at this list of the wins, I'm going, well, that doesn't seem right. But whatever. So you were the feature bout.
Yep.
Before the co-main event.
Yep.
It was a good placement for the match. And like I said, man, I watched the fight unfold and, all through the fight, and this was one of the fights that, a lot of people thought was going to go the distance, but it was going to go the distance in a good way. Like, not guys running around from each other, guys fighting. And you guys went into the fifth round, just like everybody predicted. And it was a good fight, back and forth. But you really you put your foot on the gas from the first round, and you never let up. Tell us where that intensity comes from, because you really showed a different level of yourself, in my eyes, on Friday night. It was incredible to see, that you keep getting better every time I see you. So tell us about the intensity and where that comes from. Is it coming from your coach and your gym, or is it something inside you? Do you see the prize of a title shot coming up that really just gets you raw? That kind of shit.
No, actually, I appreciate you saying that, but I feel like I can be better and better. So like the more notice I have, the more like prepared I can be for the fight. So. I still can be in a lot better shape, a lot better, like ready to roll. But that's just kind of my style. I go hard and I go forward. So I'm going to push it. That was one thing I was kind of surprised with him. I thought he'd push the pace a little bit, but he was okay with sitting back. So I had to come forward and engage in the fight a lot more than I anticipated. So, no, I got a lot more in me, and that's just my style. I go.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I've seen you go, and I know that, but there was something different for this one for me, that you looked like you really were just a man on a mission. You didn't care how long it took. You were going out there. You weren't going to make any mistakes along the way. You weren't going to give him an opportunity to put you out of the fight. You fought your fight, and I think you fighting your fight made Tyler fight your fight to a degree. Which is what you want to do, So yeah, I don't think you could have asked for a better game plan that night. What did your coaches say to you in the corner? I saw Derek Minner there. I didn't recognize everybody else, but who else was there with you? What were they saying to you all through the fight?
They only allowed one coach in our corner, unless you were the main event or the co-main. So I only had Derek in there, but he was basically saying, yeah, like make this your fight. Engage, like whenever I would go forward and engage, he had nothing for me. So that was a lot of what he said. And then when he tied me up, he wanted me to rotate and turn his back against the rope. So that was a lot of what he was saying during the break.
Do you feel that when you say that you could always do better? Have you had a chance to rewatch this fight? Did you go back and look at it yet?
Yeah, I've rewatched it a couple times.
All right, so where'd you fuck up? Bet you nobody's asked you that question before, but it's me. That's how I do shit, man. And I don't mean like you fucked up because you won the fight, but fighters are the most critical of themselves. So, and they always believe, even in what I would consider a flawless performance, they still find the mistakes, and that's why they're the best at it, because they see their action and they go, you know what? I could have done this a little better. So where did you see the improvements that you need to make?
I need to set it up going in a little bit better. Maybe throw some more jabs before I throw that big lead hook, and then when I was in there, I need to rip that body a little bit more. I really didn't hit his body near enough, so that's definitely some areas where I need to improve.
And you bring up the body shots, and I got to tell you, I think you hit the nail on the head. Everybody in bare knuckle, I mean, for the most part, is trying to punch you in the face and put you out. There are a few guys that throw a body shot here and there, but I haven't seen enough of the fighters really rip a body. And bare knuckle ripping on a body, up in that rib cage area, you can really break your opponent down and then set him up for that big headshot that you want to land. So I love that you're already going, I got to fucking start breaking guys down in the body. I got to punch them in the fucking guts. Make them feel like they want to puke.
And I like hitting the body a lot. But one thing he did, like he tied me up right away, and like every time I got close, so he did a good job of stopping me from hitting the body.
Yeah. By the way, guys, you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James. We are live tonight. It's Sunday night, discussing Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship BKFC 15. If you watched it, then you saw it on the BKTV app. If you didn't watch it, what the fuck? Why didn't you watch it? You know what I'm saying, man? Get that goddamn app. It's $3.99 a month, man. Do your shit. Tonight, my show, you can see over the left ear of my man Dakota. Up above his head, you'll see Just Heart. That is my sponsor, Just Heart. Legacy over Ego. They're good guys. They're helping me out to get my show even to another level, so I appreciate what they do for me. Couple of people down here are commenting, so let me show you some of the comments that people are talking about you. Kevin Smith from Smith Brothers Management said Cage Side. He said to me, Cage Side, Dakota is a beast. My girl Debbie Gamble, the number one MMA fan and combat sports fan in Florida, she says congratulations to you. Scott Farley from Goat Combat Agency. Are you represented by a manager right now?
Yeah.
In combat, who?
I have trained. His name's Andrew. Disorderly Conduct. They manage like my MMA, and then I was talking to Kevin about helping us out too. So.
Yeah, you got Kevin Smith and you got Scott Farley, and I got to tell you, because I have to give equal time because I love both guys. They're both my friends. Scott runs Goat Combat Agency, so he's representing Mark Goodbeer and some other guys as well. Sheena Starr's on his client list. I can't remember everybody's on his damn list, but he's got a ton of guys, and Kevin Smith has a ton of guys. So wherever you go, whether it's Kevin or whether it was Scott, man, I do know that you'll be in good hands because these guys are really close with the bare knuckle community, and they get stuff done. So, but Scott Farley from that agency said Dakota Cochrane, his intensity is awesome. I was cage side. He never took his eyes off Tyler Vogel. And I said, that's what I was saying to you. I never saw you take your eyes off this cat, man. Like, even when you were in your corner and there, your coach, like you're still kind of like looking through your coach and you're looking at him. It was almost sociopathic, like you were like crazy looking. It was kind of funny. Sheena Starr says, I love Dakota. She said Dakota is always focused on his target. He's always locked in. Brandon Lambert says Dakota Cochrane needs a title shot. We're going to talk about that in a second. Elvin Brito, Dakota is tough as nails and throws every punch with bad intentions. Love his BK style. Dakota also had a layoff for over a year from BKFC. That's rough, not finding BKFC for a year and then stepping in versus that level of competition and being successful. Scott Farley said, get him some ribs, talking about ripping that body. He knows, man, he knows. So you've positioned yourself now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're 3-0 as a bare knuckle fighter, correct?
Yep, correct.
So other guys are getting title shots in their divisions. And part of my stupidity, but I forgot what weight you're fighting at bare knuckle. Are you 180? Were you supposed to be 185 or 170? Or 165?
That's probably where, like, I'm pretty versatile. Like, I'll fight 75 or 85, but I fought Liban at like 91 or 93. So it really just depends on the opponent and like where he needs me. Like I said, I'm pretty versatile, so I just like to fight. I like to compete. So wherever I get to do that, I'm game.
So, but are you going to put your name in the conversation and say, hey man, I need to get in this title conversation, and if so, what weight class is that going to be where you want to compete for gold? I mean, you can't compete in all of them at the same time for gold. You have to focus on one. So now, if you get one, then you become a champ. If you get two, become a champ, and then fuck everybody. I mean, that would be cool too. But for right now, what's the weight class that you want to focus on to make your run for the gold, brother?
I'd say whatever comes first, 75 or 85. if they're having, I think they were talking about a tournament. So throw my hat in whichever tournament comes first, because that's what I want to do.
Brandon Lambert said you should fight Uli Diaz. He's the dude who had that 3-second knockout at BKFC 14, and in reality, that knockout was really 1.2 seconds. It was that quick. Took the referee another 1.3 seconds to get the fuck over there and stop the fight, but it was over.
That was crazy.
And then there's my man, Zion Tomlinson Sr. I believe he fights at 185 as well. He's throwing up the eyes at you, man. I think he's looking at you, wants to fight, man. I like that when shit gets started on the internet, bro. Fucking let's stir that shit, baby. Stir that shit. Dude, I do that pretty good. I should get a job on a farm. I've never done that before, right. So but it hurts. Oh, I don't like that motion. I never do that again. So, what do you know about the guys at 185 that you would have to possibly contend with out there? Is there a particular guy that you would like to, welcome, to 185 and Dakota Cochrane's style inside the bare knuckle ring?
Well, you know me, I always like those big fights, those big names. So I think the main one is Hector. They want, like, a lot of people want to see that.
Which one?
I did see Hector Lombard.
Oh yeah, that'd be fucking fun, dude.
So a lot of people want to see that. Like that, I don't really care. I like the big names. Like I said, it's great for motivation, great for training. But I think. I wanted to mention something about what Tyler said. It really, really pissed me off. He said
Tyler Vogel.
Like before the fights, he said I picked my.
All right, wait, hold on. All right, guys. So this is pre-fight. I guess Vogel had made a statement and got under Dakota Cochrane's skin. And you know what? I gotta say, Dakota Cochrane's a pretty chill cat, man. He doesn't fucking get engaged in all the stupid trash talk that a lot of guys feel they need to do to create their star. He does his talking inside. However, let's hear this little tidbit, because I had heard a little thing about it too. So go ahead and tell us the whole story.
Well, he started off with like adding me in this Snapchat and like flipping me off or something like that. So obviously I knew he was gonna start talking shit, and then but he said a lot of things about me being a journeyman, not improving, not getting better, same fighter. That really doesn't bother me. But one thing he did say is I pick my opponents, and that's the farthest from the truth you can absolutely be. I don't pick my opponents. I think it was supposed to be Mike Richmond before Tyler Vogel. And then the next day, I got a text saying, Richmond's out. You got Tyler Vogel 85. My next two letters were okay. I don't give a shit who I fight. I want a date. And I thought him saying I picked my fight, that's complete bullshit.
All right, well, if you pick that fight, you did good in your pick, man. You picked the guy, and then you beat him. So, I mean, there you go. That I'm not trying to stir pots here, and no disrespect to Tyler, but, like, if I were you, like, if it was me, and he'd said that before, he'd go, yeah, man, well, I picked you, and look what happened. So,
yeah.
And just dropped, and just boom, and then walk on out, that motherfucker.
Yeah. That's good.
So
that's why I don't know. I'm not good at it. I don't talk shit. So I'm not good at it.
Well, listen, man, from here on out, if you need a shit talking coach, man, and somebody says something out there, just hit me up, dude. I've actually helped a few guys craft some comebacks for others, that, they felt they needed to respond, but they didn't know how. So, I got you, bro. I charge a small fee, but,
Nice.
it's worth every penny because it gets results. So, yeah, I mean, just, ask Conor McGregor who the fuck is that guy came from? Not me. I didn't want to get in trouble for saying it was mine, so I better make. Scott Farley also said Hector and Dakota would be a hell of a fight. I agree with him. Lombard is a tough character. He's got a head, chiseled out of stone. I mean, that guy's like a genetic freak. But there's another guy, Yoel Romero, just left from the UFC. And they're talking about him coming to BKFC. I'm not sure where he's going to land yet. Obviously, PFL could be an option for him because it's $1 million tournament. And, there's one, and there's, Bellator and all that stuff. I mean, Rumble just went to Bellator, which shocked me. But so he could land up, but a lot of people want to see him come here to BKFC. You're not the guy that really calls people out. You don't pick your opponents, and we know that. But do you think it would be in your best interest to, if he shows up, if they sign him, to call him out, say, look, I'm 3-0, and I need to be tested, by somebody that, got a big name behind him. So let me welcome Romero to the ring. Is that something you would do, or we just whoever they give you? I mean, I know it's a little out of character, but
No, definitely. Like I said, I want those fights. Whether it's Yoel Romero or Hector Lombard or Thiago Alves, I don't care.
all good fights.
Yeah, it's all great fighters. I would love it. Love to have that competition and test myself. That'd be cool.
All right, so since you said you would call out those big name fights because they're big money fights, big name fights, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. I want you to pick one of those three guys you just said, Alves, Lombard, or Romero, and give it a call out with some feeling and some fire. And let's see the best Dakota Cochrane call out we can fucking see. I want WWE heat. I want you to be like, all right, listen, I'm 3-0 in BKFC. I'm kicking everybody's fucking ass that's been there. You guys are bringing in guys from the UFC, Thiago Alves and Yoel Romero and Hector Lombard. Give me any one of those three guys from American Top Team and I'll beat all their fucking asses. That's the kind of promo I want you to cut.
I'm not good at that.
Well, I know, but hey, no, listen, I want you to, play a part. It's like acting, man. Just, throw it out there. See what you come up with, man. Just because you want these fights. So let's just see if we can have some fun with it. I mean, you're not going to be as good as me. I mean, I'm not as good as you as a fighter. You're not as good as me as a talker. So, we've got to pick our arenas. But give us a call out there, dude. Give us one and pick any one of the names. You don't have to go all three like I did. I mean, I'm crazy. I'll take all three guys at the same fucking time.
I'd say let's go Hector. He's got he got 1 or 2 wins in bare knuckle now.
Yep.
So I think that's the best route to go. Let's go Hector. He's gonna be similar in size, height. He's gonna be explosive. Just like you cannot have us two in the same ring and it not be fire.
Right. All right. So now that you've picked Hector, give me the call out, dude. Do it like you're talking to Dave Feldman and you want to show him how intense you are. Call out Hector Lombard right now.
Shit. You're killing me, Chris.
Come on, do it, man.
Let's go, Hector. Come on.
That was it. Josh Bird just checked in the green room. I think that made him snicker a little bit.
Now, Josh is someone who could do that, and it would be like super fucking intimidating. He's a man. He's a man.
He is, and he's a heavyweight. And when I was sharing about doing this show for tonight, I put in there he's a heavyweight, but he's a big heavyweight, even by heavyweight standards. He's just like, I mean, I can't even fucking like. If I was a blowfish, he's just such a large human being. Like it's crazy, and he's so athletic, and that shit like that freaks me out to this day. It's like some of the weirdest things. You see these big, like 310-pound football players running down the field doing a 4.3, 4.4, I saw a guy tell you, the kid from the Redskins, or excuse me, the Washington football team, their number one pick from last year. He runs like a 3.5 40. He's 6'8", 315 pounds, and he's chasing down running backs down. How the fuck do these big motherfuckers do it, man? I can't walk from my front door to the mailbox without fucking getting a cramp, and this fucking guy's got, it's just not fucking right. So
we all have our talents, right?
Yep, we all have our talents. Mine is running my mouth. Yours is punching people in the face and getting paid to do it. Dakota, listen, man, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. I definitely appreciate it. I'm a fan. Even though I'm in the media and I'm not supposed to have bias, sometimes I have a little bias, man. I love your MMA career. I love how you've made this BKFC thing your next challenge and your chapter, and you're succeeding in it. You got great people around you to guide you along the way. So, continued success to you. Thank you for taking the time, man. Any last words for anybody out there? Sponsor shout outs or friends or family you want to give a little love to?
I better give some love to my wife. I haven't thanked her this whole camp, so I better tell my wife that I love her, and she's my rock. She's the one that helps me get ready and with food, and always supports me. So I'm gonna appreciate her. That's
a good thing you did that, dude. You get to sleep in your own bed tonight. Well, listen, my brother. Happy holidays to you. I don't know what you celebrate. I'm going to guess you celebrate Christmas, so Merry Christmas. And if anybody out there is watching gets offended I said Merry Christmas to somebody, I don't give a fuck, dude. It's Christmas. That's what I say. You don't like it, don't watch. So that's it from that. And Merry Christmas to you and your family, man. Congratulations, continued success, and keep me posted. As soon as you get a new fight announcement, let me know, and we'll bust out some news right here. We'll go live, and we'll let the world know. Guys, Dakota Cochrane right there, 3-0 as a bare-knuckle fighter. He's looking for Hector Lombard. Start the hashtag. Get something out there. Let's get this thing created, man. Let's get him that fight. Let's help him get that fight. That'll be our Christmas friend, Dakota. Dakota, thanks again, man. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. All right, man. That was Dakota Cochrane. A hell of a cool guy, man. We are chatting tonight. We're having a good time. My next guest is sitting there. I'm almost afraid to bring. He just looks scary right there, sitting there in the green room. He's got a ginormous body, ginormous head. When I had to put up the pictures of the show that we're bringing him on, like his head is so huge, I had to try to frame it in there, and I couldn't get it. No, dude, that's not a bad thing. I'm just being real, I just talk real, man. I'm just goofball. But you are such a huge. Oh, let me welcome officially, guys. This is Josh Burns, man, coming off a big win against Chris Sorrow at BKFC 15 the other night. I think it was like 26 seconds or 28 seconds. It wasn't long. Before we get into the fight, first of all, thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. I appreciate it. I remember I tried to get you on before the fight happened, but you busy and all that stuff, and that's fine. I like talking to guys after they won. So, it's good stuff. I like talking to you before too, but after you win, man, it's like you get to celebrate and, just have a good time. So, tell us about, first of all, I got to do a little backtrack with you. What made you decide that BKFC was going to be your venue? What was going to be what you decided to do? You did MMA for a long time and everything, bare knuckle. So why?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you having me on the show. But secondly, I've been in BK or bare knuckle fights for 5 years, and I was actually going to fight for Dave probably about 3 years before he actually got the first show up and running. Obviously he's ran into all kinds of obstacles during this process. And at the time, MMA, it was fun, but it was more of a hobby. It wasn't a passion. Boxing was more of a passion for me. And so I decided to jump over the lake and or the pond, as they say, and fight over there in Europe. And ended up really taking a liking to it, and really felt like that was kind of my forte. I'd like to stand and bang, and MMA guys didn't like to punch with me, so they would try to take me down, kick, run, do all that stuff. Here, especially in BKFC, Dave makes everybody fight. If you don't fight, if you run, he's docking you, or something negative happening. Fight.
Run and you're done. I mean, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, he's given a couple guys second chances, but if they did it again, you got to part ways, man. That's not what he's selling. That's not what he's trying to do out there. And honestly, that's not what you guys want to do. I mean, the guys that really do this do it just like you did the other night. You come forward, you throw punches. You're not there to dilly-dally. You're not there to dance. You're there to fucking take heads, take names, get checks, grab belts, go home.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, and you know, it was my obviously my debut for BKFC, and it, you know, had a lot of goofiness heading up into it, which I, you know, in 16 years of my career, I've never dealt with that before. And you know, I mean, I've dealt with guys that are crazy and guys that are a little bit off their rockers, but usually it's a show or what have you. And you know, with this goofball, I think he believed, first of all, you know, I want to move on beyond this fight, so this will probably be my last interview talking about it.
Sure.
But, you know, it just at the end of the day, this guy unfortunately has a lot of people fooled, and you know, his character is just, it's lacking, and you know, it sucks to say that, but it's just the reality. And things that led up to this and how things went. I mean, he wasn't original. Hell, you can see in the ring. I mean, the second he walked in that ring, I didn't take guys off him the entire time, and
you do not.
And they introduced me. You know, I do my classic pound, put my fist up, and that goofball literally imitates me. Does exactly what I do. He's over there laughing, talking, not laughing. He's like smirking, like weird, being weird. And then the camera goes to him. The whole point, like, dog, that's cool. You're gonna keep eye contact, and then at the last minute, when the camera's on him, because he's so new and so immature with this setting, he breaks off and stares at the camera, and then, you know, loses. I'm like, bro, this literally, like, you're just a goof. So. But, and I apologize, I don't have headphones. I do have headphones. I got big old, like Beats headphones. I can put those on. Yeah, kind of look like you. So,
Right now it's not bad, but if it does, just have them standing by. You might have to use. Sometimes it, you know, pops in and out, but so far we're good.
Okay.
Well, first, you know, you don't have to apologize for any way how you speak on this show. I have this show here for a reason, because I want fighters to be able to speak their mind and say it how they want to say. You know, if you want to say fuck, piss, shit, goddamn, then you go ahead and say it. I'm not going to judge you. That's not what I'm here for. And you know, I get why you were upset. You know, I saw Sorrow, you know, talking about you and bringing up some stuff and everything. And I got to say that not once in the build-up to the fight did I see you buy into the bag that he was throwing at you. You were calm, you were chilled, the face-off at the weigh-in, you were just stoic like a big old rock stone. You know, Stone Rock doesn't, you know, he was yapping at you, and you maintained your composure until you put him on his ass.
Yeah, I apologize.
And before you even apologize for that, I don't think there's one person out there who doesn't understand why you behaved the way you did when you put him on his face, because that was pent-up aggression and anger and frustration of dealing with all that crap. I probably would have done the same thing. But then you ran into Hurricane Dan Marigliata. And let me tell you something, bro. I put up the post on Facebook about it, but in all seriousness, that might be the move of the night that night, dude, because you are a large human being. I never could imagine anybody moving you the way Big Dan did. And, like, I've gone back and watched that like 15 times, but I'm just like, holy fuck. You even commented on the post that they threw you like you were a fucking potato chip, bro.
Yeah, bro. Dan's my boy. We've been friends for a while. We've known each other for a while. So, you know, I would never disrespect him. So the second he puts hands on you, you know, you're going to get the hell out of the way. And, you know, then I kind of came back and barked a little bit more when, you know, it was officially over.
Yep.
And Dan's just like, I'm not going to say what we spoke about, but you could see the smile on his face and when he was talking to me. So, you know, nothing but respect for Dan, and he's a monster. And, you know, I'm friends with Dan. And if it ever happened to be that we weren't friends, I'd be running. I'm not trying to cross the big old Dan.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't want to fuck with that guy either. But were you surprised that he was able to actually, because he just grabbed you and threw you, dude? Were you surprised? I mean, I know he's a big, strong guy and he's very capable and able. He can handle himself, obviously. But when you look back at it, you go, I can't believe how far he threw me.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, it wasn't even thinking about that. And I think at the moment, you know, I'm just glad it was Dan in there because, my understanding was after speaking with Nate, they were real nervous about me getting disqualified because getting over the top of them, don't touch them, which I had never, you can see I put my hands on the mat. I was just that. It was the lead up and all the shit that goofball talked about leading up to the fight and the things that he was going to do to me and what he was going to do and this and that and the derogatory statements. And it was just it was just a natural thing just to get over the top of him when he's laying there, kissing the canvas, literally after his head bounced off the canvas. And, just welcome him. I was just welcoming him to the big leagues. I did call him a pussy, so welcome to the big leagues, pussy. And then, when Dan starts touching me, I'm trying to move as well, with him, because I'm not going to disrespect Dan.
Of course.
And Dan's a strong son of a bitch, and the first he starts pushing me, whether I'm trying to move or not, I'm going to get a little thing. But see, what I'm really disappointed with the fact that you guys, none of y'all respected nor represented the fact of my fucking Ninja Turtle roll. I've rolled through that bitch, jumped right up my feet, nobody said anything about it. Come on, man.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, the Ninja Turtle roll is not something I'm familiar with, so that is why I did not call it out. If I was more familiar with what it was called, I would have been like, dude, he Ninja Turtle rolled, he got thrown by Big Dan, and he gets a knockout. What a night for, Judge.
Exactly.
I mean? So, now, I know you don't like sorrow.
Well, let me, and I'm not trying to step on your toes.
No, go ahead, man.
I had nothing against the kid or the guy. I mean, he's a man. But, it all literally, this guy reached out to me like a fanboy a month before our fight, sent me some artwork that he made of us and was like, hey, I just made this, laugh out loud. Oh, and by the way, it's an honor to fight you or something. And I'm like, I'm old school. Like, fuck all this new age shit. Like, that's not what you do. Like, you don't reach out to your opponent. Like, it's like kind of tipping your hand. So I'm like, but you could see, if you've seen, I put it on the internet in a couple places where, you know what, I'm not gonna let him run his mouth. I put it out there, say, here you go, this is what you all support. And you can see my response was like, hey, it looks cool, respect. I left it alone. Now in the interview, they asked me if I had any, interactions with him, if I knew him. I explained this story and said, well, he did this. So, and if you listen to the interview, I go, hey, no disrespect, but to me and my generation, that's kind of a bitch move. You don't do that. And it wasn't calling him a bitch. And anybody that listened to it, even people that weren't hearing for me, said, hey, yo, I saw the interviews. You didn't disrespect him. You were speaking what you thought was truth, but you never attacked him. And this dude took it, flew, I mean, you can read that. I mean, you can see what it's. I mean, he said some I'm not even repeat what he said. He just says some derogatory statements, and then he starts bringing up my family's my past, and then my family and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? That's cool, bro. Like, you do what you gotta do. Just like the weigh-ins. Like, when I walk up to you, and the first thing out of your fucking mouth is, "You don't scare me." Well, let me tell you how it works in the fight game, homeboy. Because if the first words out your mouth is, "I don't scare you," you scared. And I looked at him. I was like, okay. He's like, well, it's going to be, it's going to be a fight. I'm like, I hope so. And then he's sitting up there like a goofball, like looking around for like validation. Like, what do you mean you hope so? What do you mean? And my exact words was, I literally said, we'll see how long that chin holds up. And then I don't know what, he kept like barking. And then I said, hey, listen, you're going to get plenty of it tomorrow night. And then I don't know what he thought I said, but that's what I said. And literally, he starts talking about being not good at it, and I'm stinky, or like a little kid, and walking, and like he's looking around for acceptance. And some guy laughs and chuckles. He thinks, and now this I can tell you, and this guy can come out and say it himself. But the guy that laughed, I'm not gonna say his name, but he pulled me aside and said, "I don't think Saul realized I was laughing at him because you had already walked away from the thing, and he was up there like a fucking big dumbo, like, you stink, like, bro." They're laughing at you because you're literally that confused and lost. So, but I kept it composed, and I try to keep it as professional and composed as possible. And, but like I said, once, and even the first round, you can say, dude, I could have knocked him out in the first round. And hindsight's always 20/20, but at the end of the day, you still have to respect your opponent. So I had to respect the fact that, hey, he has knocked people out. He seems to have fast hands. And that first round, I got hit by two of his right hands, and I'll be honest with you, and it's not sour grapes, it's just me being very honest, and I've said this multiple times, I have middleweights that hit harder than he does. So at that point, then it became, come close to me, hit you with a couple jabs. I saw the look on his face. It was like, oh shit, like, welcome to real life. And then I grabbed him, kind of rustled around with him, and I was literally physically stronger than him. And I remember him interviews, hell, when he interviewed with you, nobody's ever manhandled me. Nobody's walked through me. Okay, bro, that's cool. But I literally physically manhandled you and literally walked through you. And going into the second round, if you get the commentary from the ring, you'll hear Coleman tell me, JB, stop fucking around, throw your hands. Let's go home. And you literally, in the second round, I got to the line first. You can hear Mark go, let's go, JB. As soon as he did that, literally, as soon as he said that, you can hear it. I triple jabbed, and the amateur little Sorrow did this linear work where he went straight back in a straight line, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Next thing, through a jab, kind of a hybrid hook. The hybrid hook actually lifted him off his feet. It was like, whoa. And then just, what we call a launching pad. Coach Folsom calls it a launching pad from CSW. Hit that pad, lift it up, and then puts that 2 right in place. And, I mean, that was the end of the night. Obviously the spectacle happened afterwards because I was kind of being an asshole. But, I apologize to the BKFC fans, everybody, people that don't know me, that at least know that I'm not that asshole. Like, there was a lot more headed up to it. And, I mean, if he wants to be a man about it and bring out all the shit that he did, I mean, then I could talk about it. But I have all the screenshots, all the stuff that all these people sent me. I don't think he realizes the magnitude and the scope of what I said. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I got a lot of people that are kind to me and friendly, and I have all of it. And I'm sitting there going, like, is this guy, like, a lot of people are like, you don't, like, he's fought nobody. He's never even been hit in bare knuckle. Like that right there, like you had Dakota. Dakota's the fucking man. Like that dude's and it's because he has taken punches from the best in the sport and kept walking through. That's when you know you're cut out for the sport. Have your mouth shut until you get tested. It's just like he runs around with the moniker of golden gloves. Yo, I have 3 golden gloves. I have 2 silver gloves, but I'm an older cat. They don't do silver gloves anymore. So when I did it, it's harder to look up. Like, it wasn't as computerized. But today, it's easy. You did a Northern Maine Golden Gloves tournament. There was no heavyweight. I don't know how USA Boxing allowed him to jump up to super heavyweight, which is the really easy weight class. You see the one guy that he fights on YouTube. It's a lackluster performance, and no disrespect to the guy because there's amateur, but literally, it's not very impressive. You fought one fight, you get a golden gloves, and then you have the audacity to call you golden gloves. Like most of us old school fighters that have gone through 18-man, 24-man, 32-man tournaments, and gone to regionals and what have you. Like, bro, you're not a real golden gloves. You win national golden gloves, you're a golden gloves champ. Just because you're local, let's be honest, you can just say, yo, I've got experience in USA Boxing. I did some golden gloves boxing. That's respectable. But to put your hat on it, like I said, and rest your laurels on it's like, bro, that's disrespectful. So, and that's all I've said. Like, that was just my honest opinion. I'm not trying to bash this poor dude anymore because, to be honest with you, he got to live with this the rest of his life. He only had a 3-fight deal. This was his 3rd fight. Trust me, you've been ringside, and whether you want to say it or not, you already know nobody likes. Like, people don't like him. They don't like his attitude. They don't like his personality. He's still stuck in the damn hotel right now because he's going, I can't walk. I'm having a hard time moving. Like, bro, really? He got carried in. He went to the hospital, came back. Literally had dudes physically carrying him, picking him up, 3 guys carrying him into the hotel. Was I there to see that? No. But did I see videos and pictures? Absolutely. So, look, bro, you don't throw stones if you live in a glass house, and you sure as fuck don't talk shit to somebody who's got a fucking – I got a pretty damn tested chin, and he's got a glass jaw. That's proven. So, and I might hit hard, but I'm telling you, it wasn't like some fucking beast-ass throw that he just got caught with. It was a combination of things. And I'm telling you right now, Joey Beltran, Sam Shoemaker, Mark Godbeer, any of those guys, if it even happened to knock them down, those guys would have got right back up. I'm telling you. And I know this as an experienced fighter. I'm telling you.
Sure.
So, so as far as saying, like, I don't like the guy, it didn't ever start that way. It was just the fact that.
No, I know it didn't start that way, but once the fight was booked, and the commentaries, of course. How can you like somebody that's saying the things he's saying about you? That's what I was getting at. But I'm glad you gave us a lot of the backstory. But let's move on to this. You just mentioned a bunch of names: Beltran, Godbeer. There's Bobo O'Bannon. There's Arnold Adams. There's a lot of guys in the heavyweight division. And because this sport is so new, opportunities get handed out quicker because they have to. So right now, Joey Beltran is the champion. Shoemaker got a win last night or on Friday night against Bobo O'Bannon. Bobo O'Bannon was 2-0. Bobo's 2-1 now. It was a step up for Bobo. He took it last minute because Godbeer had COVID and couldn't fight Shoemaker. By the way, the update on for anybody that's interested, Mark Godbeer is home in England with his daughters, feeling better, getting ready to start to go back training here shortly. Just a few more days of recovery from the COVID and turned into double pneumonia, but he was healthy enough to fly home. And he's, he posted up some pictures today of his little girls. He's got twin girls, and he's got a third girl. Like, he's a girl dad all the way in. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's scary shit right there. That's scarier than getting in the fucking ring with any of you guys. Three girls. So, but he's home and he's recovering. So, I just wanted to throw that there for anybody who cares. But so you've known Feldman a long time. You went out there and performed the way you were supposed to on Friday night. Oh, he's got 4 girls. I just got told. Somebody just told me 4. I thought he only had 3, but mine had 4. That's even crazier. But is it time for you right now to maybe pick a name and say, you know what, man, why not take a run at this now? Like you said, I'm an older fighter, so the opportunity for an older guy. Sometimes you have to jump in with both feet. You seem like the kind of guy that anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. But is there a name you want to call out? And maybe not even Beltran right now, maybe get another fight in the show. And then, if you win Beltran, but do you have a plan or you just playing it by ear?
To be honest with you, I just do what the boss tells me. I mean, I have my vision or my ideology on how this all works. I mean, Sam won, great win. I would say it was more, and it's not taken away from Sam because he did what he had to do. But Bobo's a friend, and I would say really that Bobo more or less beat himself because Bobo just was linear and didn't throw, and doing so, defeating himself. I mean, I don't care who you are, you can't stand in front of Sam Shoemaker and let that kid crack it, So, but at the end of the day. Ranking wise, I'm ranked higher than Sam. I've got more experience than Sam. I'm 7-2. I don't know what Sam. I think Sam's 5-1, or I think something like that.
I think that's right.
So I mean, he's got a respectable record. But I beat somebody that was higher ranked than Bobo in the heavyweight division, and I believe that's what it was. I believe he's high. I think Chris was ranked higher than Bobo. Do I think that was real? No, because I think Chris didn't even belong up there. But we're talking what was on fucking paper. So we're going to go what's on paper. Chris was ranked higher.
Absolutely.
I think I was more impressive more dominant with my knockout. It was if I hit, and Sam's a stud, but if I hit somebody the way Sam hit him, the first set of punches it's gonna be a wrap. So that allowed someone to hit someone like that. And I love Bobo. Bobo knows it was his fault. It really wasn't. And I'm not disrespecting Sam, but Bobo beat himself by not responding. So or not throwing back. But the way I see it is Sam was supposed to fight me. So and Sam, I got respect for him. We talked this last card, and nothing but respect. But I think if Sam wants to fight Joey, Sam needs to fight me, and I think Joey and I put the best fight on the card, excluding Mark Godbeer. So, but right now, I want a shot at the belt. So it's either, Mark Godbeer called me out on Saturday, and
sure.
Mark's a friend, and it's no disrespect. It's business, and it's about the sport. So if
business, absolutely,
I got to fight Mark. I got to fight Mark, and then Joey and Sam fight. Then so be it. Now those 4, the 2 fight each other. But I haven't talked to Dave yet. I'm supposed to talk to them tomorrow, so I'll know more then. But it sounds like they were setting it up to let Sam fight, Joey. So, but It is what it is, man. Like you said, put him in front of me, I'm gonna knock him down. I wasn't in the greatest shape for this fight. I mean, I was cardiovascular wise, I was good, but aesthetically, I want to get down a little bit more. Back to where my 250, 255 range, where I feel more dangerous, and also look good doing it. So, but yeah, there's nobody out there that scares me. There's nobody out there. Honestly, there's nobody out there that I think that beats me. At the end of the day, I look at there's a few guys I look at and go, okay, I'm gonna have to be smart, and I've got to be on my game that day to make sure I get the W, which I think I would. But realistically, Adam Arnold's, Sam Shoemaker, Mark Godbeer, I think that's the only guys since Bobo dropped one. So, and then you got Joey. So those are the 4 guys, and I think I beat them all. I think the best fight on paper is probably Mark and I. But, Mark and I have talked before, and I don't know why you would, in my opinion, I think Mark and I are number 1, number 2. I think Mark beats Joey. I think I beat Joey. And that's not disrespect to Joey, but Joey's style for me is conducive to my style. And I think that Joey lasts probably the whole 5 rounds, maybe. But he's an intelligent fighter. He's going to know not to stand in front of me. So it would be interesting. He's got an amazing gas tank. So that would be a great fight. That might be the Stephan Bonner Griffin fight that put UFC on the map. Joey Beltran, Josh Burns, that would probably be the BKFC's moment that just opens everyone's eyes, because little guys beating the shit out of themselves. Yeah, it looks great. Oh, it's a great fight. Ain't nobody give a fuck about these little dudes. They want to see meat. They want to see real men in there doing fucking damage and doing what we do. Straight up.
Yeah, no, listen, I got you. BKFC did have that moment when Artem Lobov and Jason Knight fought.
Yeah. I agree. I totally
that
agree.
Fight, that excuse me. Hold on one second. That fight really set it off for them. People compare it to now. And I get what you're saying. We need another fight to now show people even more so, because and I agree with you. We want to see big fucking monster dudes like yourself go in there and knock other monster dudes like yourself out.
Yeah,
we are into the brutality. People say all this crazy stuff. Look, we embrace the violence, and those of us that aren't going to go out there and commit violence are grateful for guys like you that go out there and get paid to do it, because we can live vicariously through the way you do it, and all these other guys too. Guys, girls, and everybody. I'm such a fan of bare knuckle, dude, and and when I asked you at the beginning, what made you decide to bare knuckle, I know you had other fights before you ever came to BKFC. But I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you came and you started doing bare knuckle, and you found a spot where you really, you got a chance to shine and take home some gold and get some, worldwide recognition.
Right.
Yeah, that's good shit, bro. All the promotional crap, and all the stuff that you dealt with sorrow in the lead up to the fight. How did it feel to finally get back in? And get this BKFC fight, and regardless of the opponent, just how did it feel to get back in there and go to work?
Yeah, no, man, I feel good. I was over a year layoff. A lot of people don't even think about that, but the last fight the last fight I had was Daniel Pottermore, and I got a thumb to the back of my eye socket and messed up my ocular nerve, and it took about 6-8 months to rehabilitate that and get cleared to fight again, and and obviously not being in the ring, no matter what anybody says, you still got to get that rust off and take care of it. So because there's a whole different world from training to being in the ring, and so it just felt great to be able to get back in there. I still felt loose, for as much emotion that was bottled up. I still felt loose. Was able to dance a little bit, coming out, smiling, have a good time. It felt great. It felt great. And, obviously BKFC runs a very professional operation, and it really felt no different than me being at a UFC show, backstage with Mark, or the Bellator shows when I was back there with myself or other people. So same high quality shows, professionalism to the utmost. And, I got to also give a big shout out to the Smith brothers, Kevin. He fucking takes great care of me. Doesn't have to, but the guy does, takes great care of me. And, Katie Shook and Nate Shook and Dave, they all just go out of their way to be as professional as they possibly can and help you out. So and I appreciate that. So it's great all around,
Yeah.
man. And then my boy Q, who's a driver, he took care of me. So
Q is the motherfucking man, bro.
Q is
Anytime
the
I'm at a show, me and Q hang out. You know, we do our thing. I love Q. Q's the man. The whole crew is good people. You know, I've been fortunate. You know, I've made a good relationship with them, so I get good access when I can travel and go do shows. You know, and I've announced a couple of the Toe the Line fights, and hopefully I'll be doing some more of those in the future because I love doing that. I love being around this sport. But you said a whole mouthful right there. Now, so I've always said there's a level of craziness to guys that fight, and one of the questions I always ask, because I'm still surprised that people even say yes to this, but are you one of those crazy bastards at that level of crazy that you like to get punched in the face and get you motivated to go punch somebody else in the face?
Nah, man, I'm not stupid, bro.
All right, cool. Some guys go, I'd love to get hit in the fucking face. I'm like, are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, well, and it's part of the act, man. It's all good. And there are some idiots that have to get hit to get going, but the reality is, the name of the game is to hit and not be hit. And and I've not been that good at that, but I can tell you that that's the game plan. That's what you're supposed to do. But this is what I do. And I was just saying it today and earlier in another interview, and I was just like, you're either born with it or you're not born with it. And bare knuckle is a whole different breed. This is a warrior breed. And I explained that to Chris Starr before we fought. It's great putting gloves on, doing all this stuff, talking, but you're not part of that breed until you get hit and then get up off the mat. So if he gets up off this fight, I made him a human highlight reel. He's going to be on that highlight reel, and he can't ever get rid of that. So, no more is it going to be my boy Barrett Prendle with Sam. It's now going to be Starr's head bouncing off the mat. So if he can get past that and come back and be respectful, humble, and he needs to go back down to little boys because he is little. He's a very small heavyweight at 245. He looked blown up. He didn't look like the normal Starro. So, if he can come back, God bless him, more power to him. But as far as me, man, you wake up, you're either a warrior or not. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to get hit in the head to be crazy. I think I'm just crazy anyways.
I like it. But it's a different level of crazy. I think that those guys that like to get hit in the head like this go, I need to get hit in the face before I can get my fight on. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to get hit at all. I want to go in there, hit, get the fuck out. Cash my check and go the fuck home. I'm that's how I feel.
I don't get paid by the minute, baby. So you're going to let me hit you in the face to get you warmed up. When they wake you up off the mat, that's all good, brother.
I'll say thank you and buy you a beer, man. Thanks for making thanks for making work easy tonight, bro. Let's go drink. All right, cool. Got a question from the crowd. He said, and we talked about the beginning, so obviously I know the answer, but he might have missed the beginning of the show. He wanted to know if you were mad at Big Merg for shoving you or not at all.
Nah, man. No. Big Dan's my boy, and he did what he had to do. I was being unprofessional. He was being professional. So as soon as Dan put hands on you, you basically go limp. You're like, oh, shit, and you're not trying to cross Big Dan. So, no, absolutely not. Dan's my boy. I love Dan. And if you watch the fight all the way through, after they counted him out, I came around and kind of talked a little more shit. And Dan turned around, grabbed me. But you see Dan's face, there's a big smile on his face. So, what we said between each other is what we said, but he's a good man. So, no, absolutely no hard feelings with Dan.
All right, and so we talked about Sam Shoemaker and Bobo Bannon fight, your opinion on that. So we got that already. Did you see Good John and Bennett?
I did see bits of it that night, but I rewatched it here on the app. So, yeah, I did watch it.
What'd you think of that fight? Because Good John came in with all this hype, and Charles Bennett, I love to death, man. He's a legend in the combat sports world for MMA and other stuff he's done, and being proven true about that whole fucking incident in the locker room in Japan with Wanderlei Silva that he said he fucking knocked away, and Wanderlei came out in a minute finally. So Charles Bennett's just nuts, felony Charles Bennett. I felt, I almost felt like Bennett won that fight to a degree. You know what I mean? It was like really weird. I mean, he outstruck him all the way across the board. I just, and I don't know. What's your thoughts on that fight if you watched it? Because I gotta know, dude.
If we're gonna be honest with it, first of all, we have to realize, and a lot of people didn't realize that Good John had COVID, not even 14 days out from the fight, so that he had a couple weeks literally your most important prime time training, and he wasn't even able to train, and he was sick. So he was able to test negative and get in and have the fight. So that's one. So the way that he fought and the way he conducted himself, I was in his locker room. You know, he's a friend of mine, and the way he conducted himself with the limitations he had, I think he did a spot on job. Now, also, I think a lot of people, just like you just stated, a lot of people, well, we expected more from him. It's Tyler. It's just. Now, we also, what people aren't thinking is that Bennett usually don't train for fights. He hasn't been training. Like, he just does shit because he's crazy. This fight he actually trained for. People don't know that. So when you're going into this fight, not many people give Bennett any chance. But the second you see any bit of life in Bennett, you immediately go, oh, well, this Brit's not worth his rice, you know? And at the end of the day, I think he did enough to win. It wasn't a great stellar performance as he would wanted it to be. He still had great head movement, still do some amazing things.
Really good head movement.
So, and he did take some shots from Bennett, and you know, he got cut up. But at the end of the day, you know, Tyler's really not so much of a knockout, and this is not a knock on Tyler. Tyler's more of a like beat the dog shit type guy, you know, like a Floyd Mayweather in his early career, not the early career. So Tyler's not going in there to fucking try to break his hand on your head. He's going to go in there and make you look stupid. And I think Tyler did really good. I think a lot of people just didn't respect Bennett. I think that's the biggest problem right now is nobody respected Bennett. And so it's the fact that Bennett looked good. They're not saying, damn, Bennett looked good. They're like, oh, well, he got the Brit robbed him, this and that. No, it's just because everyone wanted to hate on Tyler because he came in with a massive amount of hype, a massive amount of pressure behind him, and, you know, had all the great shit from the UK. So I have a feeling the next time we see Tyler, I don't care who they put him in there with, he's going to be a lot different. He's going to be this, you know, back to the traditional Tyler that we know. And, you know, I think Bennett should not be hanging it up. The way he looked, and that was only 4 weeks. He trained, but it was only 4 weeks. If Bennett actually puts in an 8-week camp, you know, I think Bennett would be a force to be reckoned with. So, you know, as far as the fight goes, my opinion is I think Tyler squeaked it out. And given the fact of what, you know, he was going through, he did a hell of a job.
That's awesome. And, you know, I didn't know that he had COVID, so they obviously kept that under wraps. So we just broke some news by my correspondent, Josh Burns, breaking the news. But it was just a weird fight, you know. And Bennett started taking training seriously. He's got a good coach around him now that's keeping him focused on fighting. And I'm happy for him because, like I said, you know, I think of Bennett as a legendary character in our world of combat sports. He's done a lot of cool things, a lot of crazy stuff. You know, he's won some cool fights. He's lost a bunch of fights, but he always shows up. He always makes it entertaining. I love the guy. So, you know, he's good people. So let me see. What was the other fight on there that, The only other fight on there I really wanted to jump into was Quentin Henry and Jason Fan. That Quentin Henry guy, I didn't know what to expect from him in this fight, but man, he's a fucking animal, that dude.
Yeah, Quentin, you know, I thought he was a bigger guy than what I had seen, but when I met him in person, the second I saw him when I met him in person, I was like, that was the right move. Dropping down a weight class was a smart move. And, I mean, he's a hell of a fighter regardless, but dropping that weight class, I think that's his prime weight. I think the 205, that's a prime weight for him. Jason Fan actually lives here in Michigan. He was supposed to train with me a couple times leading up to this fight, but, you know, never was able to do it. I personally don't know a whole heck of a lot about Jason. I just know that it seems like he was game, but Quentin made it look like he wasn't. So
yeah,
I don't think people realize Jason Fan probably has it. They could probably bring him back. He might do a little better, but you know, he jumped in there with a superstar, and Quentin, that's Quentin Henry. He's a superstar, and you know that belt's going to be his at some point. You know, and actually, the fight that I'm pretty sure that they're heading towards is there's 3 guys at that 205 class that I'm looking at going, okay, this is going to be crazy, and that's obviously Lorenzo. It'll be Quentin. And then Jason Fish, who trains with me here in Michigan, he's a little fucking pit bull. He's like a mini me, and trust me, he can take anything that you guys throw at him. Yeah. And but his dish out is crazy too. I don't think he has the speed that Quentin and Lorenzo have, but I think he has more power than both of those guys. So it just makes a crazy combination. But I think those three guys are probably the future of that division. And if you want to have any kind of standing in that division, those are the three guys that you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, and I announced Jason's fight at Toe the Line when they came down to Florida.
Okay.
And I got to see him up close and personal. Yeah, and your assessment. You know what, dude? I think from now on, when there's fights going on for BKFC, I'm going to have you come on and do preview shows with me, dude. You are so eloquent in the way you speak. You're knowledgeable. You deliver it right. Fucking, it's not. You're not reaching for answers. You're there. You're like boom, 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 dude. You know, I'm gonna send Dave Feldman a message saying maybe they should get you on some play-by-play there, dude. You know, sitting next to Lytle and Sean Wheelock, dude. I'm not kidding, dude. Fucking, I'm listening to you. I'm going, this guy just fucking got a roll. He's got a personality. He's got style, and he knows what the fuck he's talking about. That's all you need, you know.
That's what happens. Most people think I'm a fucking meathead, you know.
Well, listen, you could be, dude. You're. Look, when I look at you, you're a meathead, dude. It doesn't mean you can't be fucking intellectual. You have the meathead look. There's no doubt about it, bro. I mean, let's just be real. You know who you are, bro. You know, people aren't walking up to you and going, wow, man, that guy's a florist. You know, I mean, they're going, that guy's either a bouncer or fucking a cop or something along that line, a fire, whatever. They're not looking at you thinking anything else, and now with fighting, of course, they go, maybe that guy's a fighter, I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
But that's wrong that they base, their opinion of you on your look. I mean, you could be a brain surgeon, fucking, nobody would know.
Yeah, I've been known to have captured a couple of college degrees. So I got my master's exercise physiology. So I am quite
you see it right there,
versatile, as they say.
Kevin Smith said Josh talking all smart with his master's. K Smith, what's up, man? Fucking, oh man, that's fucking funny. He doesn't always pop up and comment on these shows, but I know he watches. But once in a while, he pops up and drops a little fucking bomb like that, and then he just disappears back into the night. Joey Angelo
heard me talking about him.
Yeah, Joey Angelo said, "What's up, fellas?" And he said, "Congratulations to the Hammer." Joey Angelo, what's up, Joey Angelo?
Joey, what's up, Joey? Now, that's a motherfucker you need to get back on the show, dude. He's a beast, 185 monster.
Oh, yeah.
175 monster. That kid's going to be a world champ, too. He's a monster. I know they're just trying to get the right opponent, but damn, they're probably opponents don't want to fight him. So, he's a beast, too, and he's training every damn day. So that dude, the second they give him another chance, he's going to pop on the scene.
That's awesome, man. There's a lot of guys that are going to pop up on this scene, because, again, this is new. We're going to see some defections from MMA. Some boxers are going to fucking defect over to do BKFC. I really like the way the sport is headed. I think David Feldman has done a phenomenal job at bringing it to the forefront and making an impact. And matching up. And listen, matching fights is an art form, but let's just be honest. There's got to be luck involved. That you put it down on paper and you hope they deliver. Like Artem and Jason. Yeah. I mean, you put that together on paper, you're hoping, oh, man, hope these motherfuckers deliver. And they delivered beyond expectation, but, you got to get those lucky moments, and then they made some big signs, Paige Van Zant's coming over. A lot of people don't respect that girl. There's a lot of girls that are talking that I'm going to beat that girl. And I'm just going to say it, and I've said it, some of the girls that are calling her out, listen, I get you want to call out, you want to, get your notoriety, claim your 15 minutes. But, for you ladies out there that think Paige Van Zant is going to be an easy fight for any of you, you're completely underestimating this girl. I've seen what she can do. Her striking is phenomenal, and she's not worried about wrestling and jiu-jitsu anymore, concentrating on her hands. She's not afraid to take a punch. She's not afraid to get bloody, and she's not afraid to dish a fucking punch out. I think a lot of people are underestimating this girl, and whoever gets her first, congratulations to him. But I think Paige is going to do a lot better than a lot of people think. Do you have a thought on that?
Paige, a lot of people, there's a lot of people uneducated, man. A lot of people doing that, whatever they want to call couch warriors or whatever the fuck you want to say. But at the end of the day, this girl, I mean, she trains around a bunch of fucking killers. And you got to take that into account. Now, she's never been in a bare knuckle fight professionally, but she's around killers that have been in it, and they can get her as ready as you possibly can get ready. Now, You never know. She could be a one-hitter quitter, be hit and be done. But I just don't see it. I see her, being like a Beck Rollins, maybe not as gritty, but like being like her, like being a fucking monster. And yeah, God bless all these girls, calling her out, doing things. Well, y'all nobody. You are compared to her, you're nobody. So it's like you try to call it Tyson. Yeah, I'm known, but Tyson is known. And,
Right.
For me to get that fight, that makes me. That's a make me fight. That's a make Josh fight. So and that's what these girls are doing. Nobody knows who these girls are. And that's just the reality. Nobody knows who they are. And most people don't respect females in the sport, anyways. And that's a damn shame.
Bullshit.
Because at the end of the day, and I've always said this to all my people, my trainers, and people that I help train, I should say. If you appreciate fighting, you're going to sit down and watch a woman's fight first. You know why? Because women don't depend on raw, natural strength and have breaks in their game that they can compensate with power. Now, don't wrong. You have a Carrera girl and a Cyborg. Those are fucking freaks.
Sure,
But
there's a few.
90% of these females are technically sound as hell, and they're in their crisp doing things proper. And if you appreciate the sport, you're going to want to watch these females because these females are going to be cracking, and most of the time they taking it. And then if they don't, it's because of a beautifully set up combination that's just textbook. And if you appreciate the sport, you're going to fucking love female fighting. I'll tell you right now, I love men fighting. I like watching because they're raw power knockouts.
Yeah.
I like female fighting because they're so damn technical. Most of them are technical because they know they got to do it right. Because they're not sitting there waiting on an excess 100-pound punch that you can drop anybody just at the right angle. They're sitting there going, you know what? I'm going to set this up. The dot combination, 3, 4, 5 punch combinations.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to watch Shayna Starr and Savage, but I did see that she got cut. But most females,
They were banging.
But so I know Sheena. Sheena to me she's more like a damn man. She likes to fucking brawl. That girl.
She does.
She don't
bring
care.
it.
Don't bring shit. So she more cut like me. But other females like the Paige Van Zandt, people like that, I think they're gonna be more cognitive of being on point, proper, precision punching down the middle. They're gonna watch the range. If they want to clinch, they're gonna get in there and get the clinch if that's their game. If not, they're gonna stay away from that. They're gonna stay out of the clinch. So
Right.
So as far as with Paige and females, man, I think it's fucking great. I think it's great, and I think Paige is a great addition. And the fact that she's beautiful, the fact that she's elegant, she's well spoken. Hell, she could be in the game forever. She could, be here for a few fights, but she's going to bring viewership and she's going to bring more attention to the game. And that's what the whole point is. The whole point of this is to get a little more traction, a little more exposure every day.
Yep, and David Feldman continues to make moves doing that. I mean, Frank Mir is going to come fight. Thiago Alves just had a great fight. I mean, he signed some really good names. Bigfoot fought there. So he's doing stuff the right way. He's not. What I do like is, like a guy like, he's not locking these guys down to, lengthy contracts like, in the years, come in and do a fight, and if it goes well, we want to do another. There's other guys that he signed to multi-fight contracts. And those are the building blocks for BKFC, and that's what he's going to, base on. But he's going to bring in some people sometimes, they're going to get a 1-fight deal or maybe a 2-fight deal if they win their first fight and they want to do it again. Like bringing in Paulie Malignaggi, that was, one and done. But, it was a good move because of the rivalry with, Conor and Paulie and Artem being Conor's right hand. So he's really been clever about doing it. And, Paige was a huge signing. She brings a lot to the table besides the fight. So and she could fight. She's gritty as fuck. This is what gets me, that people just disrespect her like that. I'm like, all right, man, I'm just gonna sit back and watch, man. When she starts beating people up, then you come at me. Because other than that, man, if she gets her ass kicked, you know what? She'll come back the next fight and win. She's not afraid. That's the thing. She's like you. She's not afraid of anybody. She's gonna go in there and fight. Put a girl in front of her. Let's fight. So I'm happy she's there. I'm happy the signers are there. I'm happy you're there, dude. You put on a great show the other night. And except for your brief, little breakdown at the end of the fight, you handled it like a professional, like you said. And I've chatted with Sorrow on my show a couple of times. I like the guy. Obviously, I have no beef with the guy. He's a cool dude to me. He's definitely a fun interview. He's entertaining. He's got personality. He's one of those guys that he threw out what he said, and he'll back himself up. Even if he didn't win the fight, he's not going to cow down. He's going to be the same person today that he was yesterday, I think. Like you said, everybody's got a certain style about him.
Yeah, to be fair, I hope that statement right there becomes. I hope that's untrue. I hope that after this ordeal, I hope that he grows and has growth personally, and has some self betterment and learns how to conduct himself a little better as a man and become a better role model. So, that I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, but at the same time, there's a lot of fake people in this world, and I think he definitely has that double-edged side to him. He's got the flip side, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know what I did, but I'm gonna tell you, my girl sitting right next to me, she'll tell you I got about 120 messages between the 3,000 messages I got, and over 100 of them were from Maine, and they were all saying. Not even being detailed. Some were very detailed, and that's private information. But
absolutely.
Most of them were like, just out of the blue, thank you so much. And I'm like, I'm confused. So I'm like, yeah, no problem. And then the next response, they give me a little detail to what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, respect. Like I said, it's private information, but at the same time,
absolutely.
There's a lot of people from that area that said that needed to happen for a reason, and hopefully this helps this man step in a more positive direction. And it's only going to help his fighting career. It's going to help him as a man, as an individual, and personally have personal self-betterment. And that's what life's all about, becoming better. I've got my ass kicked before, and it changed. Help mold me and make me a better man. So same concept. Hopefully this helps. There's no more, like you said, no more bad blood. It is what it is. It's done. I told my girl today. I said. I got people trying to egg me on to talk about more stuff. I said, today's going to be the last day I talk about it because, in one regard, I did say, I don't want to give him any more light. I'm not going to shed any more light on the guy. So, and then also, I'm not going to keep dragging a dead horse. It is what it is.
Absolutely. And when I was saying that he's going to be the same guy today that he was yesterday, I don't even mean that as a slight on him. Because I've seen, at BKFC in Oxford, Mississippi earlier this year, he came in, he won his fight, and he had dedicated to his friend that had passed away. And, he was in the locker room crying like a little girl. And I was back there through the whole moment, and, I shared about it. And at that moment right there, for me, and I'm not saying this to make you have a different opinion of him, your opinion and your experience of him is because of how you experienced him, so. But I think that guy I met in the locker room that night, that was Chris Sorrow. And I think there's a persona that he created, unwittingly maybe, or intentionally. I don't know. Cause I don't know what goes on in his head, but that he's going to come out and this is how he is when he's booking fights and talking fights and everything. And it's been like that. Like, this last opponent, that he had that show down there, he was, pissed at him and he got all up in his face and all this other stuff too. But I met a different guy, in the locker room because I saw the human side of just a guy that was in pain. So, but I agree with you. There was some stuff publicly that he said about you, and I saw, that crossed the line. And I don't defend stuff like that. No. Shit like that's wrong. It's wrong. You can't. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So
hopefully the guy that was back there emotional, and in his feelings. He follows the path of that guy because, let's be honest, these right here, this is what does the talking for us in our game, not this. And at the end of the day, he did all that talking. You look at the weigh-ins, the shit he did. I think for him, he's so scared, and that's not disrespectful for him. I'm scared. When we fight, you going into a fight, you think everything positive, negative at the same time. You're scared. I don't care what anyone tells you.
You're a human being. You have to be a little scared.
That's how you thrive. You thrive because you know how to turn that fear into power. Yep. And at the end of the day, he did a lot of crazy stuff with those other guys. Now you got to think about it. He did 10 times more with me online, talking, all this stuff, and then we saw me in person. He didn't put his hand in my face. He wasn't yelling at me. He was talking. He had the words, but he wasn't being disrespectful with his words. He was just more like, "I ain't afraid of you." What?
Right.
So you already as an experienced fighter, I already know, bro. You're shook. Just be cool. Walk up to me, and be like, "Yo, Hey, all the bullshit's past, man. Let's just have a good fight. 100% in my heart, I'm telling you right now, Lord is my witness. I'd have fist bumped him and said, "Let's do this, bro."
Yeah.
And I still would have knocked his ass out. That's my opinion.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
I would have helped him up. There wouldn't have been any there wouldn't have been any goofiness. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just the honest truth. So,
I do.
you know,
I understand 100%, dude. I, like I said, obviously it got to you enough where you finally, you had your moment where you responded to all the build up to it, and your response warranted. I mean, you could have done a lot. You could have done a lot worse, bro. You could have done a lot worse.
Let me tell you what. I've seen a lot of people go online and say, "Oh, well, Shaq said I was the best fight. Shaq said this. Shaq said that." I'm gonna tell you right now. My brother Mark Coleman turned around, looked at Shaq, and was like, "Hey, Shaq, you fucking like that?" Shaq was standing up. He's like, "That was the fight." And then when he went to walk out, that he walked up to me, grabbed me, and I felt like a little baby.
Oh yeah, because
like I tiny, and he just goes, he's like, you started the night for me. That was the fight of the night. I'm gonna remember that fight.
Yep.
And the fact that I was wearing a shirt, had a hat on, so I didn't know if he knew who I was. But the fact that he pulled me aside and said that was a blessing, and then I knew that I had not gone too far over the top, because he said, I'm not gonna remember exactly what it was, but Coleman was standing right there. It was basically something about passion. He goes, your raw passion was real. And I appreciate that was real. And, that I'll remember that will stick with me. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing for the sport. It's a good thing for BKFC. And Shaq's just a blessing all the way around. So,
yeah.
It's definitely a good thing.
Yeah, it was good to see him there. He did some fun talking on the commentary. Listened to the feed. It was awesome. I got one more question for you. My buddy asked me to mention it, and and I was going to get to it, and then we got all sidetracked, and I forgot. I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then you just reminded me when you said, Mark turned around and looked over at Shaq. You fucking like that? Working with Mark Coleman, man. How fucking cool is that, bro?
Yeah, well, Mark's been my big brother, God, for intricately for about 16 years now. I went to Ohio State, met him, through that, and Hammer House. I've been part of Hammer House now over 16 years, and I'm kind of like a little brother. He gave me the name The Hammer, and it's kind of funny how you as a fighter you don't name your damn self. That's cheesy and fucking stupid. So
you can't. That's crap.
Yeah, exactly. So Mark Coleman, he was the one that gave me the name The Hammer, and it wasn't because I was a godfather or I was a ground and pound guy. It was a fact because I got 10 kids. At the time, I had to stick at the time. And he just goes, "You're the Hammer, but you're a hammer for another reason." And that's a Hammer House joke. It's between all of us. But the reality is I got a lot of kids. And
how many kids do you have?
I got 10. I got 8 girls. So the fact that you were talking about girls is, I joke with Mark Godby all the time. I'm like, "God, you just a baby, bro. Don't be talking about 4. Dude. Talk to me when you get about 4 more."
Dude, wait, hold on. The fuck are you doing with 10 kids, bro?
Well, you know what? I got a better TV now, so it's all good. It's all good.
Oh my God. So youngest, what's the youngest one and what's the oldest one?
All right. So the youngest is now 4 and the oldest is now 22, going to be 23.
Jeez, bro. You've gone generational. You've covered the entire gamut, bro. 10 kids, bro. Dude.
That's what you do, man. Just like the old days, baby. Got to spread that seed, man. Got to keep my name running.
Yeah. Well, luckily you got 2 boys out of the 10 kids, because 8 girls ain't keeping your name running, bro.
Right? You got the bookends, brother.
Oh, thank God you got a couple boys in there, man. That's great, dude. I didn't even know that. See, that's why now I feel like Godbeer ain't got shit. What the fuck? 4 girls, better stop, bro. So with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time tonight, bro. How do you find time to fight, do a regular job, and take care of 10 kids? Oh my God, bro.
I'm very blessed, man. They've got great mothers, and the moms do an amazing fucking job. And I'm pretty much just kind of like this ancillary thing that just pops around. I'm really blessed because dads are always cool no matter what. So as long as I show up with gifts and cool and show up with love, I'm good. But mom's the one to really hold it down, So that's the reality.
Awesome. And it's cool that you say that publicly, because some guys, try to front, like, there's no front there, dude. I like it. I like
man. Mamas are the backbones. That's just a fact.
Oh man, you know what? this is your first time on my show. I forgot. I'm going to ask you to do something I ask every fighter that comes on the show the first time to do. I should have messaged it to you, but I forgot to. My bad. But I've had over 215 guests on the show, and I've never had one say no. So I hope you won't be the first.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be the first, but it's not going to be a no. I'll still do it. Go ahead.
I always ask guests on my show the first time they come on the show to sing something for us.
Oh, sing. Shit, I thought you were going to have to take a drink. I was like, I only do sparkling water.
No, I don't drink either, bro. I don't drink either, so I'm cool with that. I asked everybody to sing and to read, and I started doing it a long time ago, and people like they go, it's cool to see a fighter come out of their element. You know, some of them, there's been a few that came right on and just fucking ripped out a tune, and a lot of people I didn't expect. And then there's been some people that were just absolutely horrible. So, you know, and it's okay because, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, we're not auditioning for American Idol or, you know, The Voice or nothing. It's just, I think the fan base of mine that watches and likes that, I think it gives them a connection to y'all. Like, it feels like you're just another person, you know, rather than a big pop up on the screen star. MMA fighters, bare knuckle fighters are the most accessible athletes on the planet to the fan base, which is fucking awesome. Other sports should follow the lead. To be honest, that MMA and bare knuckle do. They really should, but they're so full of themselves and they're millions and millions of dollars that they're too busy to remember the people that are paying those ticket things, this and that, are the ones that made them millionaires. So you guys don't ever forget that in any of the combat sports that I've worked around. So I always find that to be a blessing. That's why they like it. So can you sing for us? I don't care what you sing. It's TV commercial, rap, country music. I don't give a fuck. Anything.
I don't know no damn songs, man.
You got 10 kids, bro. You know a song or two, Mo.
Oh shit! I know like little songs like "This Little Light of Mine." Like this. Little
You can sing that. Yeah, you can sing. I don't give a fuck, dude.
Let it shine. There you go. That's it.
Well, you gotta give me a little. You gotta at least give it. You know. You gotta give me a little bit. It's. You know. And look, we'll do it as a duet. You ready?
Look, I got my girl laughing at me, bro. This is pressure, man. Jeez.
Pete Trevino Jr. says sing tequila. No, but it's this little light of mine. Just this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. You say it like 3 times. Then you go, let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Then you're done.
Okay, right. So
I don't need you to sing every whole verse, like the whole song, dude.
I don't know the whole thing. So
nobody knows the whole song of any song. They all try to front everything they do, and then I put the pressure on them, and then they forget the words. So you picked a good one because it's simple and easy.
Yeah, so what do you want to do? So this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen, the professional amateur singing debut of the man himself, Josh Burns of BKFC. He may not be the greatest singer, man, but he is a force on the feet, and he is a man to be reckoned with at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Frank Mir's coming over, dude. Would that be a fight you would like to be the guy to welcome Frank Mir in?
Well, shit, yeah. I mean, I'll welcome Frank. Frank ain't gonna fight me. So we train just the God's honest truth. We train in Vegas. Frank don't like getting. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking. I know he's like, I'd like to challenge myself. I don't know why Glassjaw want to challenge herself in a bare knuckle sport where that's the first thing that's gonna get checked. So, you know, God bless him. Hopefully, he gives something that's, you know. To be honest with you, like a Joey Beltran, you know, Joey's a stud, but I don't think Joey has that horsepower, that natural raw horsepower, because he's naturally probably an 85-pounder. So that'd be a fight that goes back and forth, and Mir might have a chance to win it because Mir does hit hard. But you gotta have both components in the sport, and you got to be able to take it and give it. And I'm telling you right now, Frank cannot take it, and you know, so we'll see what he does. But I highly doubt if he would take take a fight with me. And it doesn't make sense anyways, because you're going to want guys that are high tier guys that are going to really bring in people. And if I just smoke his ass in one fight, then it's a lose for him. So, you know, because then he becomes a highlight reel, and for a sport that he was just doing to make a little extra money and challenge himself. Yeah. You know, just
totally get it. Well, you're, like I said, your brain is just there. You know, that's that master's degree. As fucking Kevin Smith said, that's working. Well, listen, brother. It was great to chat with you tonight, man. I'm glad. I'm so glad that you're like so free and able to speak. I do some interviews sometimes, and I won't say anything, but sometimes, man, it's hard to get a conversation going with some guys. You know, they don't have the gift to talk even about themselves. You know, it's like, whoa, you know. Post-fight interview sometimes can be rough with a guy. You know, you're like,
yeah, I got you.
You know, but you're highly intelligent on all areas of this sport and with boxing and everything else. it's been one of my favorite interviews I think I've done all year, dude. Fucking definitely enjoyed chatting with you, and we'll definitely have you on again. Right. Maybe for the next event, we'll do a preview show, man, where we sit down and we'll let you break down the fights, and give some people some idea. I think we have to educate the people that don't know everything about this and continue to put the message out and show them what BKFC is, because it's not bare knuckle boxing, it's bare knuckle fighting, and there's a few little differences that distinguish the sports between one another, and some people don't get it. So we got to continue to educate them and teach them and show them the light and bring them into the arena and bring them onto the app and boom, 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 and make them fans. So if you're down, we'll set it up, man, and we'll do a preview show of that February card, and they might even have one in January, from what I'm told. So I think they're going to England for Toe the Line in January, and a BKFC show as well. So I'll check out. We'll figure it out. We'll get together again and do this, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. If anybody you want to shout out before you go, sponsors, friends, family, your favorite restaurant, anything, take the time.
Just same thing, man. Just thanks, Dave Feldman and the whole crew. Nate Shook and Katie and those guys taking care of me. Smith Bros, like I said, specifically Kevin. The guy takes care of me. He doesn't have to, and that guy goes out of his damn way. So, and he treats everybody like gold. And that's a blessing. So, thanks to those guys. Thanks to my girl. It's pretty much my backbone, helping me get through all my training and my babies. I got a video. I'll send it to you, of my daughters watching the this last weekend.
That'll be awesome.
It's 4 of them, but you'll get an impression. You'll see my couple mini me's in that. It's funny. It's good time. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see it, man. Well, listen, thanks again for taking the time, guys. This is the man himself. Josh the Hammer Burns doing it with us tonight. A big win at BKFC 15 on Friday night against Chris Sorrow. He's looking for the next fight. He wants to get into the championship picture, and at heavyweight, 2 fights could get you there sometime, maybe 3 at the most, the way the division's set up right now. But he's looking to, take heads, cash checks, win gold, go home, have dinner. That's how it's done, baby. And he wants to fight guys that are professional like him, do it the right way. There's no need for all the smack and the trash. A little smack talk never hurt anybody, but there's a level and limit, and that's, and he wants to, fight guys like that respect the sport and respect the people they're fighting against. So, hopefully he'll get to do that. Most of the guys here are all good people anyway, so I don't think you're going to have any problems, man. But you enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. And by the way, anybody else out there watching, I know there's some other media guys out there watching from some other sites I saw. You guys that are watching, if you get him on your show, don't ask him about Chris Sorrow. That chapter is closed. He said it's going to be, this is the wrap right here. I'm glad that he talked about it here, but I understand why he doesn't want to talk about it. So don't ask him about it, because he'll probably just cut your interview off, dude, and that would suck balls. I'm just saying. So I'm throwing the message out there for you, bro, because I mean, like you said, when you close a chapter, you close a chapter, and so I'm just telling you other media guys, don't be animals. Talk about some good stuff that he wants to talk about. You ask him about his kids. He's got 10, plenty to talk about. Listen, man, enjoy the night, man. God bless you and your family. Merry Christmas, man, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. Later, guys.
Right, thank you, man. Guys, that was the man himself, Josh the Hammer Burns. What a fight he put on. He went in there. Chris Sorrow, a guy I love. You guys know I like Chris Sorrow. Chris Sorrow's bud. Never done anything bad to me. He probably crossed a little bit of a line here and there, and that's on him. And he's a man, and he deals with the rewards and the repercussions of the actions he does in life. That's who he is. You deal it out, you go out, whatever happens. That's it. But he wouldn't back away from comments. He stood his ground on that area. And as you saw, Josh Burns was frustrated. He apologized for the little outburst after. I understand why he did it. I think most of you do too. And I don't think anybody's really mad at him. Again, we crave the violence and shit like that. So, I don't think any of us are even really mad. It's false madness. It's false anger, because, we like seeing that crazy shit in the fights. So let's just be real. Anyway, I want to thank both my guests out there tonight, Dakota Cochrane and Josh Burns, man. Great conversation with both these guys. I'll have a show coming up this Tuesday night. I'm working on a couple of guests from the UFC. So I've just got to get them to commit and make sure everything's all locked in before I announce them. But thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. As always, I appreciate you guys letting me be a part of your lives today, and you guys being a part of mine. For that, I can never, ever truly express how grateful I am with words. But just know it's right here in my heart. Until next time, boys and girls, I am Christopher James, and guess what, man? Y'all, you've been cage side. Good night, everybody.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuit. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Thor Caduceus. There you go, baby.